Hey guys, Courtney here, Alpha Male Unleashed. In today's video, I'll be going over 5 major, huge beta male mistakes that I've made recently and you should avoid. You ever been on a date and after the date, after some days go by, you're trying to figure out what the hell went wrong, what you do, how you did? Well, I found myself in that situation. Let me give you a little backstory. I've been in committed relationships pretty much all my life, from the age of maybe 16, started with puppy love, high school stuff, and all the way up until maybe 2019. So after 2019, I was single, and the longest I've been single in my lifetime was like maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks max, period, in my lifetime. But in April, the last person that I was with for like 3 years, but all the other relationships before then was in between 5 and 7 years. So I never had a break of a real relationship. So in all those relationships, I consider to be fair relationships because I'm not with them, with the person anymore. So with that being said, with so many failed relationships, that I started to believe that I started losing confidence in myself. My self-esteem has pretty much dropped, along with some things that contributed back when I was younger. So growing up, being introverted, being shy. So pretty much the backstory. So I'm just now starting dating. It's been like a year and a half, so I've been trying to figure out me. And I thought I was actually ready. I thought I had everything in this whole year and a half, thought I had everything under control. I thought I started doing things to make me happy and all of that. But I just realized from a recent event, dating event, that I'm actually not ready. I am not ready. So what happened in this situation with the mistakes that I've made, I consider to be beta, submissive mistakes, major mistakes that actually kind of made me feel bad. I was feeling bad for probably a week or so. I'm like wondering, like, what the hell's going on? Why am I like feeling this way? I thought I spent a whole year and a half or whatever, pull my crap together. And when I've been on multiple dates, but it was just actually someone that I was really interested in. I kind of felt the way that I haven't felt in a long time, really a very long time. So I was kind of digging this person. And the very first beta male mistake that I made was expressing my interest, how much I liked her, and how much I appreciated her company, being around her, and all of that. So I just kind of came off a little bit. I would say it was needy in a sense. It was like, why so soon? Why now? It's just like, we didn't really have that many dates or anything like that, but I was really digging her. So I was just saying how interested I was into that. And I know right up front, not a real long dating history and building some real connection, you can run somebody off. You can actually scare someone. And by you not knowing exactly what position that person holds, meaning you don't know if she's actually looking for someone or she's just want to just be out, play the field, be for the streets or something. So, but you just never know. And by the person being of an older age, you assume that maybe, okay, well, she's like looking for something serious or something like that. But see, wasn't sure, and I'm still not sure, especially after this event, whether I want something serious, because I mean, shoot, I thought I was ready. And I've been being off of a committed relationship for a year and a half. I would think I have my shit together, but I actually don't. And this kind of like proved it. And having things together for me it means that I'm not like jumping into a relationship with somebody just because they're showing interest in me. And that's kind of that was like the how I've always been. So I would date someone, I would be single, I would date someone, that first person, and I'll be with that person forever. I'll be committed, I'll be loyal, I'll be faithful, all of those things. So then that failed. Then I go to the next with the same thing very quickly. So shit, I used to say, if you touch my hand, I'm gonna marry you, or we're gonna be together for a very long time. So that was something that I had to break. So I showed interest way too soon. And what made me show that interest is because she was saying how I would bring peace to her, how she liked me, and how I can kind of fit into her life. So I'm like, okay. I mean, I'm digging her. I'm really digging this person after not being able to dig somebody for been such a long time. So I'm digging her. So when I'm digging her, she's giving me all of this. So I'm like, okay. Then she would like text all the time. Like it can be anything. To be like some things I'm like, why are you even texting me this? And that right there, like it can be 2, 3 in the morning. It's just like anything. So I'm like, okay. She really digging me. So, and I know I'm digging her. So, and when I actually express my part of it, how I actually feel about her, how I actually like her, I like her energy, I like all of those things, okay, shit start going downhill. So I'm like, okay, that's when like the calls wasn't coming. When we went on a couple dates and things like that, and I'm trying to figure out what happened, because there was a drop in communication. There was a drop in text messaging. So I used to get text messages all the time. Then it was not being able to actually reach her or have her meet with me. But like I said, before, the chemistry was absolutely amazing. It was great. The attraction was there. The tension was there. All of that. So after that, after the conversation, the phone conversations, and the text message and all of that stuff stopped, I'm thinking like, and it's after the dates, like, what the hell did I do? I don't know what I did. I'm trying to figure out, even right now, I don't know what I did. So, and it just was playing in my mind over and over again. So then the second biggest mistake came in. The second mistake as a beta male is apologizing or explaining myself, explaining why I was interested in her, explaining why I'm like trying to figure out where the drop in the communications at, when in a sense, like explaining myself that made me appear weak. And by appearing weak, that's a beta. You're not really, a woman is not really interested in that type of thing. It's not this day and time. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm apologizing. I don't know what the hell I did, and I wish you would tell me what I did so I can know to improve myself. But I yet to get an answer to it, and I'm just like, okay, I dig you, or whatever. Where are we? So, but it just kind of like dropped completely, and I'm just like, okay, I may not never know. I may not get a second chance. I don't know. I wish I would, but it just may not happen. So that was the second mistake that I made, was apologizing and explaining myself. I shouldn't have did that. That was kind of showing weakness, emotion, and we ain't been talking that long. So that was like a huge mistake. The third mistake was in the form of conversation. There was, I call it a gift. So, me in being me, I don't mind. It's kind of like a tiny philanthropist because I give money and things to so many people almost every day, all day. And it's like no big deal. So people don't have furniture. I'm like, okay, I'll fill your whole house up with furniture. It's no big deal. People who can't, kids need clothes, shoes, stuff like that, and I see it and know about it, told about it, I just send all that stuff to them. Or people need money or short. That's just normally me. And it's like there's no real amount to it. I just like whatever I feel, that's what I would give. So there was a trip being planned, so I'm like, okay, who paid? How you paying for your trip? You got all that covered? I'm like, okay, here you go. It didn't bother me nothing. It didn't bother me not one single bit. To like, okay, you and your girls, this trip is on me. That's you. You go. Big mistake. Big mistake, because no matter how much money you have, and no matter what you do for somebody, that don't make them like you. That don't make them like you. And I knew that, and I know that. And that might not even be the case, but the case is the mistake of gifting a person that you are interested in and was something possibly there. It's kind of like you giving them the okay. You giving them the thought of maybe I'm not trying to be in a committed relationship. I'm not trying to be serious. So by him giving me that, do he actually think that that's gonna make me really want to be with him or not? And so I implanted that thought when I'm just normally being me. So I implanted that thought into her head that I'm looking for something serious or something like that. And that was the third biggest mistake that I made, was giving a gift or giving something in exchange to make her feel like she have some kind of, maybe some ideal of an obligation to me, and possibly be in a relationship or committed or be dating more or come back or something like that. So, but that's just naturally me, and I do that with anybody. So I messed up by doing that in this situation. That was the third mistake. And then the fourth mistake, as a beta male tendencies, is when she went cold on texting, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Why is she pulling back from texting me? Why is she pulling back from texting me? So I'm thinking, like, dang, she pulled back. Shit, let me pull back. I'm just gonna stop texting her. I'm just gonna stop. She stopped texting me. I'm gonna stop texting her. So I'm trying to match her coldness. And by doing so, that appears weak, because I'm knowing that I like her, knowing that I'm interested in her, and by her pulling back, and I'm still have like really trying to figure out what the hell I did wrong anyway. So she pulled back, I pull back, knowing that I still, if she just called me just like that, I'll be right there to answer the phone. I'll be right there trying to figure out, talk to her, text her, whatever, and be excited to see the number. So that right there in that situation was a huge mistake again, because I could have did it. I could have handled this whole situation a better way. I could have just been from the jump, not showing so much interest and let things just play out. And I just didn't do that. And then, and the last mistake I made was basically saying, it's like almost gave an ultimatum that, okay, if you don't want to talk to me, I'm done. I ain't gonna mess with you. I ain't gonna bother you no more. So, but if you text me, you text me. If you don't, you don't, and all of that. And that's where, like, oh man, I'm just like, shit, I ain't give enough time to respond or something like that, or I'm too demanding and all of that. So that was a mistake. Again, a beta male mistake. I should have just been like, oh well, however it play out, it plays out. But that was a mistake by um, giving an ultimatum to either talk to me or leave me the hell alone. And knowing I didn't want her to leave me alone, but that's what the case would be. And I really dig this girl. I really like her, but I shouldn't be like liking her like this anyway. And it's my mistake on my part for even getting myself, but I've been single so long that, okay, and I started feeling something that I ain't feel before from this particular person. So I'm like, okay, maybe, but I don't need to be like in this committed thing with her right away because I don't know her like that, or it should like spend more time really getting to know someone. So that just proved to me that I'm actually not ready, because I was willing to be in a relationship with this particular person if it would happen so soon, and it shouldn't be so soon. So those are the 5 mistakes that I made, and I think that to avoid those mistakes and to provide a different option, if I were like out communicating with a lot more people, like going to the more social events, I wouldn't feel that way. I wouldn't be like hurt by the whole situation. If I was like going to maybe clubs, bars, or develop a mindset that where there's plenty and I have nothing to lose, I think this whole situation would be completely different. But now, right now today, at this point in time, I mean, I really don't care. It's just like, I have to stop thinking, because of my failed relationships, that every female is better than that. I don't deserve them. Even if it's a hood rat, I feel that person is a queen and they're a hood rat. It's because of my limited experiences with a whole array of women. I haven't had that many experiences with women. I'm like 40, and from 20 years, so 4 relationships, 4 women, 5 women, and all been committed relationships. So I haven't experienced like something real. I haven't experienced like all of the things that the normal guy would experience. So that pretty much make me think that all women are just the queens of queens, and they can't do no wrong, which I know, and even my own mother told me that is absolute bullshit. It's absolute crap. And I saw a video, which was the funniest video. I think it was the husband store. And she started off at ground 1, level floor 1, it's from floor 1 to 6. And as it goes up the floor, the woman the quality of the man get better and better and better. And they got to the lady got to the 5th floor, which is the ultimate guy. She wanted to go to the 6th floor, the highest level, which no one was there. And she only had to leave and exit. And that, before I saw that video, I had that actual thought that no woman, you can't 100% please a woman, because if you're providing stability, love, and affection, but you're missing communication, she's going to find somebody that's going to communicate with her, and that's going to be the end of it. You can communicate, you can be affectionate, you can be show emotions, but if you're not giving enough time, they're gone for somebody that's gonna give them time. But that's just how it is. So I come to the conclusion that life is life, and women is just gonna be women, and you just can't get butthole about what they do. You expect them, like me, because I consider myself to be an excellent provider, but that is not good enough. Even Bill Gates, even all these multimillionaires and billionaires are getting divorced. Money doesn't hold a relationship together. It's going to always be an element of a relationship that you have to pay close attention to. And it's like multiple levels. And with women, you can't slack up on not one single level, because the level that you slack up on, somebody else is going to feel, and they're going to look for somebody else to feel until they realize that where they went out, they effed up. And they end up in the grass is not greener on the other side. So though, if I would have spent more, if I would have been paying a little bit more attention to not rushing into a relationship, or not rushing to really like somebody without really knowing everything about them, then I wouldn't have been in this situation, because I was actually butthole hurt about it. And I'm like, it's like I couldn't eat for like a day or about 2 days, because I'm like trying to figure out what the hell happened. I still don't know right now today what happened. And it just wasn't there. And I really liked this person. I really did. And I waited. So many people come and try to holler at me and all that, but it's just this one particular one that I really liked. And I don't know what the hell happened, but maybe, but she said I was a nice guy. That would be a case, because all my life I've heard nice guys finish last, and I truly believe that. So, guys, those were the 5 major mistakes that I made, and they were beta male mistakes. That was showing interest in the person, that was too soon, apologizing for me showing that interest, giving them gifts or a gift, trying to match their coldness the way they like back off of me backing off of them, trying to match them, and then giving them an ultimatum that, okay, you talk to me when you want to or whatever, but I'm done. I ain't gonna get in whatever. Knowing that I'm still interested, or I was interested then, but now at this very point in time, I don't even give a hell, rat's ass, or whatever now, but I just learned, and this was a valuable lesson that I needed to learn. And I got plenty more to come, because here, this channel is about, one, I'm on my way on a journey, and that journey is to become an alpha male. And if I've been in committed relationships, loving and being there for someone, whoever I was with, taking care of them to the extreme max that I possibly could, and maybe slacked off on the communication because I really don't speak. So I'm more of a doer than a speaker. So that was actual issue. So with all of that being said, it's a mistake for me to jump into something right away, especially knowing what I just been through. So with this channel, I'm going to give you the real. They call it, one of my friends say, the real and raw. Raw and real. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat absolutely nothing. I'm going to give it to you. If I'm embarrassed, if it's something that's embarrassing, I'm going to give it to you. Because one thing about how you get over something, the fear of something, if you're embarrassed about it, accept it. And that's one of the things that I have to like get over the fear of being embarrassed. And that's like being embarrassed or making a fool of myself or being fitting in somebody else's expectations. That's something that I just got to get rid of. So I'm saying when you have one of the goals would be to develop a abundance mindset, meaning that there is plenty out there and you're not concerned with it because there's so much that you can choose from. So, but in order to get that, you have to put yourself in that position. So the number one thing is actually getting out and being more social. And that's one of the things that's on my list to do, is to become more social, be more interactive, going to more clubs, interact with people. Because if I'm secluded, I cannot reach the status of an alpha male, because my ability to communicate and relate to females is not to par. So that has to stop. So I thank you. If you like this video and would like to see more, like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And thank you, and good night.